There are great things about being in Rome. It's the history, it's the culture, it's the legal history, it's the analytical parts of intellectual life in Italy for the last 2,000 years, cradle of civilization, crossroads of many churches, a safe kind of discussion environment for politics and so on. Even the very creation of the Italian state is very instructive for the world and for Christianity. There are some weaknesses being in Rome. Because Rome is ancient, there is a certain kind of inertia for development, I would say, especially in the church environment, maybe less so in the Italian state itself. But for example, the building that we teach in was built in 3 or 4 sections. The oldest section dates from the 15th century, and then each century another part is added to the building. It means that certain developments are slow, people are used to old buildings, people are used to old chairs, people are used to old walls, and when you want to update things, there's sometimes a lack of resources, and there's sometimes even a lack of initiative, or there's at least a certain inertia that this is the way it's been for 300 years, why do you want to change it? So when I came last year, I could see this need for renewal of the mission of the Orientale to suit the modern globalized world. And we had a series of processes here, one long series among the faculty, the Jesuit faculty, another series with a broad community of stakeholders in the Orientale, including diplomats, Vatican representatives, ex-students, and then another process among the academic body, the students here themselves. And all are agreed on this renewal of a mission for the Orientale, retaining what we've been doing for so long, but making this message, this information, this teaching available to a much broader world. In the first place, there are many students who can't afford to come to Rome for 2 or 3 or 5 years. But aside from that, there's a whole world that does not understand, for example, what is going on in Syria. Despite reading the newspapers every day or listening to CNN and BBC, you get a very limited understanding. What can you understand in 30 seconds about what's going on in the Middle East? So I went to the United States last year 3 times with this mission in hand. And one aspect of the mission is to communicate the East to the West. So I gave 8 conferences on Syria and the Middle East, conferences on Ukraine, conferences on the papal meeting with the Moscow Patriarch. And they were very rich for the audiences because they could not get this in-depth analysis, one-stop shopping somewhere on the internet or on television. So it has led to more and more invitations. And it also led people to say, how can we help you? And I began to say that we need this infrastructural development here at the Orientale, especially for digitizing and for bringing in fiber optic cables, putting them in all the classrooms so that we can put the conferences we have online, stream them online, so that we can get video blogs of things, of current events. For example, the terrorist acts in Turkey. We have here at the Orientale experts in Turkey. So to have a 5-minute, a 10-minute video blog right away on something that's happening in Turkey, transmitted in English because our professors speak so many languages. So during this summer, we reconstructed one whole part of the building, put in a high technology conference room in the library itself, the very prestigious library here, and it's already now in use. We have the ability to stream online from that room. But we need to do something like this with all of our classrooms and introduce this level of technology. The other major project, which is sort of crucial, I would say, is the digitizing of the library. Again, there are so many resources that we have here, photographs over the last century of so many monuments that have been destroyed in the recent war in Syria and throughout the Middle East. Churches, mosques, frescoes, mosaics that no longer exist, but we have very fine photographs of this throughout Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. The ancient manuscripts that we have, the studies of ancient Eucharistic prayers that we have, the experts that we have on ancient languages that no longer are current, Coptic, ancient Eritrean languages, and so on. So we have all these documents available and in translation. To be able to make them available in digitized form on a broader market would be so extraordinary. Even if just staying inside the Jesuit world, there are 200 Jesuit universities in the world. If we made these resources available only to the Jesuit universities, this could enhance the study of theology, the study of cultures, the study of political development in that whole network of universities, to say nothing of the broader network of universities of all denominations, of different languages and cultures. So this is the area of our next stage of development, is making the resources that we've collected over 100 years available to a much broader world.